here today on Thursday to give you a review. So Wednesday, I was feeling a little under the weather, so I didn't film. And plus, I didn't know what to film. I was like, what am I gonna review? I haven't watched anything that I genuinely want to review or that I feel like people would want me to review. But then I remembered that DeMario had his little interview thing on Bachelor in Paradise, the latest episode, which, by the way, like, they should have played his part first. I didn't give a shit about Evan and eyebrows. I mean, well, I can't call it that now because her eyebrows actually got a little better. Evan and Carly, I didn't give a shit about them. The drama between Diggy, Lacey, what was that other bitch's name? Dominique, that was pretty good. But I mainly wanted to see DeMario's interview because he did a lot of crying and, you know, I heard it was really good. And what I did enjoy was when they brought out Raven, Jasmine, Diggy, who else was it? I think it was like Benzie and Robbie. And I liked when Raven said that her and Jasmine wanted to make it their business to stick up for DeMario because they were there and they know what happened. And they were like, we were walking by, like, we saw what happened, like nothing of what was being portrayed in the media was actually what happened. And I like because Raven said how she was very adamant how his name, his family name, like his life is on the line and we weren't just gonna sit by and do nothing. So I already liked Raven, but that made me like her more. And I already like Jasmine, and you know, I know Jasmine gonna act a fool. Did y'all see the previews next week? Ooh, she about to go off. But I did like how they had a unified front and they were gonna stick up for DeMario. I personally think that this whole thing was orchestrated by ABC because even in the previews to Corinne's interview, she's not bashing DeMario, she's not dogging DeMario. And then this whole thing, it's never like she was like, DeMario violated me. Like, that never happened. It was just, I don't know what happened. Obviously, like, do I think Corinne is guilty in some of the, absolutely 100%. But the way she was portrayed and the way she got slut shamed, I don't think was right. But I feel like ABC magnified whatever freaky deaky shit DeMario and Corinne did on that beach and then wanted to turn it into a scandal because I feel like they knew people weren't gonna be watching Bachelor in Paradise this season. So I feel like they used two people's lives and said, fuck it, let's create some ratings, let's create some buzz. And I feel like they orchestrated this whole thing because it was a third party complaint. Because what made it worse when you watch DeMario's interview is when he said how the next day, after him and Corinne did all this crazy wild shit in the pool, they had breakfast together, they was hanging out, they were talking, she told him about how she can bake pies. Like, they was chummy, buddy, like everything was fine. And then he has to hear in a hotel room that it's a third party complaint. I feel like whoever the fuck that third party was, you probably didn't like whatever they was doing on that beach. You felt some type of way and you wanted to make it what it wasn't. And I genuinely felt bad for DeMario watching his explanation, especially when you hear how everything was genuinely fine. The next day, everything was fine that night. He said the night ended with him and Alexis throwing coconuts in the water at like 3 a.m. Everybody woke up, everybody was apologizing because how it got wild the other night and this and that, and how they were all just hanging out. What I don't get is, if everything is cool and everybody's hanging out, then why did it have to go left? Like, especially when he said how he asked the producer guy, did Corinne complain? And he was like, oh no, Corinne's fine, she hasn't said anything. Well, I'm not complaining, then why are we having this conversation? Like, it seems too fishy. Like, if she wasn't bitching, he's not bitching, then what the fuck was the point? Like, I feel like they took something that wasn't anything. I feel like it was two grown adults fucking on a beach. Like, two grown, drunk as fuck. Like, I feel like they were disgustingly drunk. Like, I feel like they were sloppy drunk, falling all over the place, falling all over each other. And so they spun that. This third party spun that into something horrible. And then the reason Corinne is at fault in this too is because it partially looks like she took it and then like ran with it. She was like, well shit then, I'm a victim. I don't remember anything. I was drunk. Like, I feel like this whole thing went left when it could have been avoided. Like, I feel like there were so many steps before getting where it got. Because like like Raven said, how when you Google his name, sexual assault pops up. That's not good. Especially when the girl never complained, even the next day, and after they were sent home, still nothing. Like, how? I felt bad when he talked about how he watched his mother cry every day and how he told her to deactivate things because she was sticking up for her son. I just don't like how he had to watch his life go to shit over something that he knew didn't happen and over something that apparently she knew didn't happen. I mean, I can't speak for her. I have to see what she said on Tuesday. I feel like ABC like took a whole bunch of extra steps and made it an extra thing. Because even the way they're dragging this out now, like the way they used the scandal to promo the season when they came back, the way they're breaking up their interviews and so many things, the way they have the cast recounting it, how their experience and how they felt. Like, I feel like they wanted a season blowout and they took so many obnoxious steps to turn shit into a scandal. And I feel like, especially with his interview and how when he says how everything went left so quick, I feel like there was some other shit, y'all. Like, I feel like there was some other shit. Like, I don't feel like she should have been slut shamed the way she was. I feel like he shouldn't have gotten the death threats he got and all the shit that he had to go through. I feel like there's underlining things to it that nobody's saying. But I did appreciate his interview. I did feel bad for him. I'm still not a DeMario fan, but I mean, I like him a little more as a person. But I just thought it was sad how he had to watch his mother be sad, and the fact that, you know, she had to go through that, his father had to go through that, people in his immediate family having to watch that kind of shit, the drama. And I do like how even through all of this, he could have said like fucked up things about Corinne, but he didn't. Even then he was like, you know, she got a lot of hate, a lot of aggression, you know, people slut shamed her, people did this, people did that. He wasn't like, oh, I don't know what she thinking. He never took it left with Corinne. So I think that's why there's another level of genuineness to it. He was more so trying to defend his character and his name. It wasn't, well, I know what she didn't do. And it wasn't like a malicious back and forth thing, if that makes sense. So, I mean, I watched it. I don't feel like we needed that Evan and Carly shit. I feel like Raven and Jasmine and the people in the cast saying what they said, and DeMario, that was enough. I don't think we needed the extra shit. And I feel like they should make this like a separate thing. Like, don't attach it to an episode, but if you're gonna attach it to an episode, ABC should put the shit in the front, in the beginning. So then when it's over, we can get to people dating in paradise and all that other shit. One thing I will say about the episode, I was sad to see Danielle go, because I actually like Danielle, but I think her and Wells are really cute. But I really want her to get like married and shit. I like Danielle. She seems fun to me. And I like Alexis, and I like Raven, and I'm on the fence about Taylor. But yeah. So yeah, that's everything. That's everything I wanted to say about DeMario's interview. Tell me what you guys thought. Do you think he was being genuine? How do you think this shit spun? Do you think ABC took it to a place where that it didn't need to go? Tell me what you think of how Corinne's interview is gonna go next Tuesday. I will definitely review that. But yeah, tell me what you all think. Like I say at the end of all my videos, if no one's told you that you're awesome and that they love you, I'm sorry about the noise in the background, but if no one's told you that you're awesome and that they love you, I think you're awesome and I love you. Peace.